Everybody, I'm Joe Tunis. I run Carbon Records. I have a podcast and a print zine called My Teeth Need Attention. And I wanted to start doing some more video work. And I was kind of inspired by various folks in the VC vinyl community, including mainly Dom Gigliano, Seeking the Thread, and Dave Gibson. I watch their videos a lot. I kind of get a kick out of their stuff. They turn me on to new music. And I wanted to use this to kind of also, I'm going to be clear. I'm promoting the label I run, Carbon Records, and a lot of distro I carry and stuff like that, which are usually records I'm really into. I don't just carry anything. It's usually stuff I want to get and hopefully turn other people on to. So I'm going to kick this off with the 2025 or 2026, what is it? The tag David Atkinson posted. I saw a bunch of videos that people did. I got a kick out of some of them and others, they didn't really hit. I collect a lot of weird stuff, so I don't always am in line with a lot of collectors and stuff like that, but that's fine. That's cool. So I'm gonna go down my list. We'll see how this goes. This is my first time. So show your best vinyl or other format musical purchase of 2025. So I bought a fair amount this year, a lot of distro, of course. But what I did do is I've been trying to fill in some gaps of musical acts that I really love, and for some reason I never had all of the stuff by. I'm not trying to complete everything, but I'm trying to get as much as possible. And the first one I was doing was Arthur Doyle. So this is his plays and sings from the Songbook, Volume 1. It's on Audible Hiss, came out in 95. There was another Arthur Doyle I got this year too. I can't remember. I can't find it because I'm a mess. I had the great opportunity to meet Arthur Doyle multiple times and go on like some short tours with him, and a lot of folks I know played in bands with him, the Electro Acoustic Ensemble, and it was just great to finally track that down. Share your favorite musical live experience of 2025. So I saw a bunch of people post that I follow that were like, "Oh, I don't go to live shows," and I'm like, "Whoa!" It confused the hell out of me. I go to a lot of live shows. I don't go to like concerts. I don't go to like big shows for the most part. I don't really like those. I like going to like small clubs and bars and stuff like that. And Rochester has a fair amount. I'm in Rochester, New York, by the way. We have a fair amount of good clubs and stuff like that. So I see a lot of local and touring acts. I help book a lot of stuff. But one that my favorite show this year or last year that I went to see was Liam Grant, who I work with, put out stuff by, and he did a tour with Glenn Jones. And Glenn I met, 20 some years ago when he was in town with Cul-de-sac, his old band. Haven't seen him since. Dom actually put the show on at his little city barn in his backyard down in Ithaca, New York, which is not far from here. So I went down. It was a great fall night, and so I picked up a bunch of Glenn Jones records. And I picked this one out specifically because it's Dom. I think it's Dom's favorite, and he had Glenn play a song from this that Dom and his kids listen to when they're going down to the New York City area, and it's Across the Tappan Zee, which is the Tappan Zee Bridge, which I don't think is called that anymore. Maybe it was replaced with another bridge. That was my favorite show. It was a perfect night. I went down by myself. No one I knew had the night available, and I had to get some records to Liam anyway, so I took the opportunity to go down, and it was like perfect. Hung out with them. My really good friend Mark lives next door to Dom, weirdly enough, so I got to hang out with everybody. So it was a great time. Your vinyl record collection in 10 years is going to be bigger, smaller, or the same. Explain why. So my goal is to make it smaller. That probably won't happen. So I'm assuming it'll be the same or bigger. The idea was I built this years ago when I moved into my room in my house upstairs. I used to be in the basement, and I built that to contain my collection. As you can see, it overflows the wall, and as soon as I finished that wall, my collection was already too big. So I've been trying. My attempt philosophically is to fit in that wall. Who knows if it'll ever happen or not. You move into a new home and you play one record, turn up to 11 to announce your arrival. I think it would have to be this. Harsh 70s Reality by the Dead Sea, New Zealand Free Noise, Giants. It's a double LP. It's a great mixture of their free noise, improv, and also really great songs. Like, in my mind, they're punk songs. They're protest songs. They're heavy. So yeah, it's great. If you don't know the Dead Sea or Harsh 70s Reality, I would pick that up. Show 2 albums, one of each of your favorite male and female singers. This is tough. I don't. You'll find out that I'm a huge Bardo Pond fan, so I love Isabella's singing on Bardo Pond records. I didn't pick that because I have a lot of other Bardo Pond in this list. But I'm gonna pick 2 that, from a singer standpoint, like, these people fascinate me from their style. So it might not be, classically great singers, but Marky Smith of The Fall. When I first heard Marky Smith, my buddy John turned me on to The Fall. He had me, I was in North Carolina. I remember he gave me I was like, hey, I should get a Fall thing. And he handed me a CD. I think it was Nation Savings Grace or something like that. I think it was that. And I couldn't do it. I didn't like Marky's singing at all. It annoyed the heck out of me. And I put it away, and a couple months later, I pulled it out, and it still didn't hit. And like a year later, I pulled it out, and it hit. And then I became fascinated with his singing, his style, attitude, and stuff. And I don't realize I have, but I have a lot of Fall records. I mean, if Fall has a lot of records out. I have a section like that. Female-wise, Catherine Ribeiro. She is fascinating. Sings in French. I know un peu, a little French. You can tell the heartache that she's singing about without knowing the language. Just crazy, great singing. She wails really loud. Her voice breaks apart. It's just perfect. So yeah, Catherine Ribeiro. She did a lot of records with Alps, which was a French band as well. I think she's Portuguese, but she hung out in France, and a lot of these are on like the French Philips label and stuff like that. Just great. I went deep into her when this got kind of reissued, Gray Market, and Debut Abbé, I think it's called, or something like that. That got reissued, and then I went deep and started picking up other records of hers, and they weren't terribly hard to find. The real thin jackets, Euro 70s and 80s European jackets, so they're light. We like to have fun. Show your top 3 soul and dance records. I don't really collect soul at all. It's not really a genre I've never been gravitated to. Dance-wise, I guess the only thing I would have would be like electronic music. And I have danced with my kids when they were young to Alvanoto. I kind of love Alvanoto's incredibly minimal electronic music. It would probably never get categorized as dance music, but you could dance to it because it's crazy rhythmic, given his weird approach to electronic music. So this is the Xerox Volume 1. There was like 3 or 4 volumes of this. I was collecting the Alvanoto and everything from like Rastronoten, which is a label he helped run out of Germany back in like the 90s, 2000s, the height of like glitch and stuff like that. Another one that I definitely dance to is Cut Hands. This is on Black is Ever Black. Cut Hands is William Bennett from White House. I have a bunch of White House records. I've really sold a lot of my dance records. I used to collect a lot of stuff on Lies and Black is Ever Black and Pan. And I've just been weeding out my collection just to try to fit in that wall. It might not work. A real stinker. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love and why. All right, so this is going to probably piss people off. I really don't like the Beatles. And it's not. I'm not just trying to be contrarian. I've listened to them. I've tried. I've had friends who are like, no, you got to listen to White Album. You got to listen to Revolver. And I listen to them, and for the most part, I don't like them. Every once in a while, there's a song that I dig, but I just don't. Sorry. But Bartle Pond covered Cry Baby Cry on this record, Ticket Crystals. This came out in, 2013? No, 2006? I don't know. This is a reissue, maybe. This did get reissued. I don't know if this is the reissue of the original. Cry Baby Cry, they talk about it in the liner notes. I think they recorded it for like a tribute record and it got denied. It's good. They do a good job of it. It's just I don't really like the song, and I kind of wish they didn't put it on the record. And I love that band. Bartle, you'll find out if you don't know me already. You'll find out how much I love them. All right, so this one is pick one album from each of the last 6 decades. Man, this is tough, but these are what came to mind quickly when I thought about it. Velvet Underground, of course, their first record with Nico. I embarrassingly enough didn't listen to Velvet Underground for a long time. My buddy John turned me on to, I think he had me get White Light White Heat first. He always kind of has a good sense of what's going to catch me, and then I can follow the trail. I'm obsessed with this record, and like every few months or every few years or whatever, a different song becomes my favorite from the record. But this record is just incredible and spurns a lot of bands that I'm really into. From kind of a free noise standpoint and a songwriting broken standpoint, I love it. So that'd be the 60s, the 70s, Noi. This is the kind of touch point and kickoff for me getting into krautrock. And again, this is like the really straight ahead, total motoric drumming I love. And then I kind of went off from there, and I can get looser and freer and more synthy and less drummy. So that's from the 70s, 80s. Probably a perfect record. It's an EP technically. Boodle 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 by The Clean. This is the reissue that Merge put out. Kind of perfectly. They did it with a 7-inch and the original zine that came out with the original. This is originally on Flying Nun. It's like Flying Nun's first or second record. Perfect record. All 5 songs are incredible. If you don't know The Clean and you want to get into New Zealand, Dunedin sound, jangle pop or whatever, The Clean is where you want to go. And speaking of krautrock, though, like the drumming that's done on here gets motoric at times, though it's in a different context than the German guys. The 90s, man, I was huge into math rock, indie rock. That's the height of indie rock from my mind. Like between 90 and 94, just so many great records came out. I had a hard time picking this, and then I have a hard time finding things that I pick. So I picked this. Bedheads, What Fun Life Was. This is from the box set that Numero put out. I sold my original because I bought the box set and I'm like, I don't really need the original anymore. Perfect record. Amazing songwriters. Like the Kidane brothers are probably my favorite songwriting duo. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Just killer indie rock. These guys are like slowcore, around the same time as Codeine. There was all these connections between all these bands, like these guys and Seam and stuff. A lot of that revolved around Oberlin College. There were some of these folks going to Oberlin and then moving to New York and stuff like that. They're originally from Texas, like Denton or something like that. But then they moved around, and one brother actually lives not far from here. Let's see, the 90s. This is the 2000s. This is a cheat. Because I don't think this ever originally came out. I looked, and I don't see the original. It's recordings from, I think, the 70s. But from what I could tell, the first time it came out was like 2000. This is 2010. It came out on CD before this. But I'm doing it anyway. Parsons Sound. This is the box set, the Parsons Sound box set on Subliminal Sounds. I got the CD, the double CD in, it was probably like 2000, 2001, I think, when it came out. This is what introduced me to the whole world of Swedish psych. and a lot of the guys in this band, they're Trod Gras Oakstenar and Harvester, International Harvester, Trodden, which is Trod Gras nowadays. Just amazing Swedish psych. The 2010s, I'm going with my favorite band of all time, and I had to pick one of their records in the 2010s, Bartle Pond. It wasn't until 2010 when did this come out? This is for the 2000s. Sorry. Wait a minute. I think I'm off. Don't worry about it. This is recorded in 2009, but it didn't come out until 2010 or 11. Self-titled LP. I can't remember if this is the original. It got repressed with the printing reverse. It was black on silver. I remember. I can't remember which one's which. It's on Fire Records, and it did. Yeah, it came out in 2010. So I didn't screw up. I'm gonna do 2020s because it wasn't in the list, but I'm gonna list it anyway because this record obsessed a lot of us. It's Lewisburg. You can see the poster right over here of their tour that they did in 2023. Lewisburg took kind of the underground world by storm when they came on the scene and started putting out records. The records then got repressed by 12XU, Gerard Kozloy. And I had the luxury of, or the honor to book them in town, and it was amazing to see them live. They broke up not long after that, which I'm kind of fine with. They put out a handful of really great records, and this thing is incredible in the house. And this is, I think, this is a reissue on 12XU. I think it came out on a different label before that, though. Let's see. You have the opportunity to spend a day with one artist, walking a mountain trail, beach, blah, blah, blah. Who would that artist be? I think Peter Stapleton from New Zealand. I just was able to put out 2 records that he played on. I've been really into his music for a long time. And he passed away in 2020. And it'd be incredible to actually talk to him. I'm kicking myself for never trying to reach out before he passed away. And I'm assuming the next question's about that, like the must-ask question. I'm a guess to who. I'd like to just talk to him about making music and improv, playing drums and how he approached drums and synth and electronics and stuff like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Show a record that contains a track that always brings a tear to your eye. I have a hard time even talking about this song. It's from Lauren Connors and Kath Bloom's record, Sing the Children Over. There's a track on here called, where is it? There Was a Boy. If you don't know Lauren Connors, real great abstract underground guitar player. Underground, I don't know. Kath Bloom. So they were a duo out of New Haven for a long time. And then Lauren eventually moved to New York and stuff like that. And him and his wife, Suzanne Langille, do a lot of work together too. Kath is still playing. I had the opportunity to book her like 3 times now. She's coming back. I think it's 3, and she's coming back for the 4th time this spring. Just a superb person. Great folk singer and writer. She plays guitar as well. And that song kills me every time I listen to it. Let's see. Show 3 albums from artists you've tried to love, but you're questioning why you bother. I don't really keep records like that. I'm gonna skip this. I mean, there's probably some records in here. There's probably some jazz that I like have and I try and I listen to, but nothing really comes to mind. For the most part, I try to weed that stuff out. If I listen to something, I bought something just like a couple weeks ago. Finally put it on a turntable the other day. And I'm like, I don't like that at all. And I posted it for sale immediately. Trying to get better at that. Show an album from an artist whose character disappoints you, but you can separate the art from the artist. I don't really know any that come to mind. I have a feeling John Fahey probably wasn't the greatest guy in the world, but I don't know for sure. I've read the book about him by Stephen Lowenthal. That was really great. He gets into, John wasn't the greatest when it came to dealing with other people and his jealousy of other players and stuff like that. I don't know, and I'm not gonna call out anybody that's living that I don't know personally. Sorry. If you had to sell all your vinyl along with the record player, show the one album you would hold on for a keepsake. Again, so I mentioned earlier, I have like basically three favorite bands that I try to get everything by. It's Bardo Pond, the Dead Sea, and all their related things. Both of those bands, and Lauren Connors. So I'm gonna have to pick a Bardo Pond record, and this is like one of my original. Is All Tomorrow's Party label. Put this out. This is after they left Matador. I think this might be the first record after they left Matador. Killer record, gatefold. This got reissued, thankfully, a couple years ago. Because a lot of this stuff, like, it didn't get pressed a ton. So they were kind of hard to find on vinyl. And I was buying a lot of CD at that point. Idiotically. Let's see. Discuss your VC highlight of 2025. That's a video link to it. Or meetup. I actually had a meetup with some of the VC guys. So Dom and Dave Gibson came to town. Dave is a local bandography, and Dom is Seeking Thread. And their buddy Brandon. I don't know Brandon's handle. I don't know if I've seen videos by him. But I caught up with those guys the weekend after Christmas. They came to Rochester because Dave is originally from this area, so he comes to the area for the holidays, and Dom only lives, hour and a half away. And Brandon lives in Buffalo, and they met Joe from Analog Archive, I think, but I didn't catch Joe when I saw these guys. So I got to hang out with them, and that was a lot of fun. I've hung out with Dom a ton, both here and in Ithaca, but that was the first time meeting Dave in person and Brandon. That was a lot. If you're an innocent man on death row, they give you one last musical request. What do you ask for? So I couldn't find the actual song, but I found on the record that they cover it too. And it'd be Maggot Brain by Funkadelic. This is Bardo Pond. They actually covered Maggot Brain on one of their 3 years in a row for Fair Records. They did a Record Store Day release. And each year was covers. So they cover like Eno and Albert Island. Forget what else they cover. Velvet Underground maybe? Or at least Lou Reed. Yeah, this they cover Funkadelic and Pharoah Sanders. So it'd be Maggot Brain probably. That's a good way to go out, I think. Great. So, your favorite artist to a new listener, show an essential album. So I just did the Bardo Pond, and I think On the Ellipse is a great record for people to get into. I think the Matador records, they put 3 or 4 out of Matador. I think those are all great to get into. If you're into guitar-driven, affected, fuzzy, psych. I think it's American Psych. It's not like it's the heavier kind of Psych, not the more folk side of things. Bardo Pond is my favorite band, so I'm always talking them up to everybody. Sorry. You're arranging a VC meetup in 2026, excluding those you've already met. Invite 3 people you'd most like to meet. So I'm going to be. I think somebody else mentioned this. Dave might mention this in his. I'll be selfish and say, okay, I'll go and meet Buttery out in New Zealand because I want to go to New Zealand, or Stunty out in Sweden because I want to go to Sweden. I think those two would be a lot of fun to hang out with. I definitely have crossover collection-wise with each of them. Probably different, I think, crossovers. But it'd be a lot of fun to do and go to both of those places. So I think that's it. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully it's not too dumb. I'm gonna try. I want to try to do basically video versions of my taking the attention, not necessarily the interviews, but the playing of stuff that I'm into and getting into, and maybe picking up for Disro and stuff too. So again, I'm being open. I'm trying to sell records too, but I'm also trying to turn people on to records and hopefully get turned on to other stuff as well as I watch other shows and stuff like that. So thanks again. This is Carbon Joe Tunis. I don't know what the hell is my channel. Carbon Records, I think. I was thinking about creating a new one, but I'm just gonna leave it like this. Maybe I'll split it off into a different one if I feel the need. But all right, take care and have a good day.